Thank you. It is all about the climb. It's all about the journey. And wherever you are in your journey, like this is the most important step. Like just to take the next one. It doesn't matter where you think you've been. Like if you really look behind, right, we just burned up all the past. But if you really look at how far you've come, you really burned up a lot. Like you've burned a lot of territory so far. You've come a long way, baby. Each and every one of you have come a long way in this life. And it doesn't matter where you think you are right now, you've come a long way. And the next step is the most important one. We don't have to look back. We know we've accomplished that already. We've done it. You did it. You made it. You got here. You arrived at a certain place in your life where you have overcome 100% of your tough days so far. Right? I got through every one of those. I am 100% successful in getting through tough days. And so are you. You are 100% successful in getting through whatever it is you got through. And it was part of what made you who you are. And you're 100% successful in receiving all the gifts of the universe and all of your loved ones up into this moment as well. And so today I want to look at releasing the past from a different perspective. I want to release the past from the perspective of thanking it for the gift that it gave me. I thank each and every one in my past, each and every experience, each and every circumstance and situation for the combined gift that it gave me. It helped me to make me who I am today. It helped me to remember who I am in God in truth, to remember my divine nature. Each and every experience, whether it was an experience of, well, that's not quite divine, or, wow, this is amazing. I can't believe of what I'm experiencing now. I can't believe what's going on in my heart and mind. And so today, I want us to try to come to a point where we don't have any resentments or grievances left about the past. Don't worry, tomorrow we'll probably bring some more. And so I want to give you the tools to deal with them. Not to bring up, like if we carry the past along with us, this is what happens. When we run into a situation that's just like that, which we are projecting anyway, we respond the same way. With the same anger, the same sadness, the same judgment, the same conflict. And all that stuff is creating dis-ease in your body and in the world. Dis-ease is just a forgetting that we are connected. It's a forgetting that we are one. And it's a response to what happens out of some story that we're telling ourselves from the past. So I want to be able to respond to the past with gratitude instead of telling my victim story about it. Oh, this happened to me, and oh my goodness. And all of those moments in time were absolutely perfect. A lot of you were here a couple of weeks ago when my daughter was here, and I had a real grievance story going for a while, because she was adopted to other people, and I wasn't able to raise her, physically be in her presence and raise her. But I knew someday she'd be back in my life, and so that's what I focused on. It took a long time. She's 30 years old now, and she was adopted at 16 months old. And I did see her up until she was about 10, but there was a long time there until a few years ago when we reunited that I had no contact with her. And yet, she turned out exactly like I imagined, and even better. She looks just like me. She sings amazing. She's got an amazing voice. She's a yoga teacher. She's runs a summer camp for children with heart disease. She's doing such great work in the world. And if she hadn't chosen that path, if she hadn't been on that path that I resisted terribly for a long time, she would never have the life that she has. So somewhere in my heart, I knew it was perfect. And I've learned to not only accept those changes that I may not think are beneficial to me at the time, but to embrace them. and to say there is some good in this. And so what I want us to do right now is to start out by saying a couple of affirmations together. Now here's a good one right here. Are you ready? I choose this day to be grateful for the past, for it brought me to where I am today. Every part of it. Everything that's occurred up until now. It doesn't mean I need more pain to learn more lessons. It means I learned the lessons and the pain is over. I've learned those lessons. I don't need them anymore. Isn't that great? So that brings us to the second part. I'm grateful for the past, for it brought me to where I am today, and I am now willing to let the past go as I move forward toward my highest good. Let's say that all in unison. I am now willing to let the past go as I move forward toward my highest good. Wow! I'm moving towards something, but it's not about what's waiting on the other side of that, because whatever it is, it's happening right now. This next step is the most beautiful. It's the most magnificent, and it is the most important, because if I don't take that step with intention, I might slip back into the same old patterns of the past. So I have to keep my attention moving forward toward my highest good. But I'm not telling the universe what that is. I am just moving in that direction. And I'm always surprised, because I do set my intentions, I set my goals, I set my vision. And guess what happens, guys? It's always better. It's always much better, much more magnificent than I can imagine. Why? Because it includes all of you. It includes all of your vision as well. It includes every person in the universe, say in this world. We won't go out in the universe just yet. But every person in this world who's having a kind thought about another person, that's me that's receiving the benefit of that thought, of those kind thoughts. That's why when we meditate, we send kind wishes. Isn't that nice? We send that out, and nobody can stop a thought. And you're the beneficiary of your positive thinking. You're the beneficiary of your kind thoughts. Everyone else is too, but you're the first one to experience it. And so sitting in that vibration of kindness is very important to move forward toward our highest good. When you see the perfection of everything unfolding, your gratitude begins to explode. You know, there's two superpowers that we have in embracing our highest good. And the first one's gratitude. The second one is forgiveness. And I want to talk about both of those. We're going to start the process by what I said, acceptance. Acceptance of what is. That's the first step. And it's a very important step, because you begin to experience the power of your mind. Eckhart Tolle said, accept first and then act. First thing you need to do is accept. Whatever the present moment contains, accept it as if you had chosen it. Always work with it and not against it. Don't resist evil. That was one of my teacher's favorite sayings. Don't resist evil. Let it go. Work with it. Don't work against it. Let it flow. It'll flow out of your life so much faster because you're working with it. You're not resisting the energy of it. You're actually using the energy to your benefit. You know what we may have considered as evil in the crucifixion became the resurrection because he worked with it. You can't kill the Christ. You can kill the body, but you can't kill the Christ. Amazing. I'm going to work with that. I'm going to work with whatever it is, that energy, and it's going to transform. When we say we transform lives, that's what we're transforming. We're transforming our limited perception of the energy that's occurring in our life, and we're allowing it to turn into something that is for our highest good. Why? Because God is absolute good everywhere present. And if there is an absolute good, then evil is just a temporary misunderstanding of what's going on. And I keep creating these temporary misunderstandings Why? Because my brain is addicted to that type of thinking. First thing to do is to accept it as if you have chosen it, no matter what it is. The fact is, you did choose it. Oh, I don't like to hear that. Oh, I did choose, no matter what it is? Yes. I love to hear that when it's going good. Wow, I created a lot of money. I created a great relationship. Oh man, did you see that nice new sailboat we created? And then when the sailboat sinks, you say, I didn't create that. Yes, you did. Because you created sailboats. You created the idea of the boat in the first place. It's true. Everything is going on as an extension of your mind. This whole world, this environment that you live in exists because of you, exactly as you are creating it. Nothing is happening from out there. Right, Patricia? Nothing. Nothing is happening from out there. It's always from within. The world you see is nothing more than an outward picture of an inward condition. That's A Course in Miracles. But it also happens to be the mystical teaching of every religion, of every spiritual teacher since the beginning of time. And guess what, guys? Now it's the teaching of the scientists. That the world you see is a projection of the observer. Without an observer, there's no material universe to see. Because it's only there for you. It's coming from the observer. The observer is the one that forms the particles into the shape that it appears before you. Now, we're all agreeing on a certain type of universe and world right now. And I'm going to ask you to look at this idea of forgiveness as looking at the possibility that the world you see has nothing to do with reality. Oh, you like that? She likes that one. And the world of separation that we've been agreeing on, we can stop agreeing with that scenario. And we can start to agree on a different scenario, that we are all one. That if God is absolute good everywhere present, must be present right here and right now. Everywhere present, must be present in me. Everywhere present, must be present wherever I go, whatever I do, whomever I am speaking with. God, the good, is there. And if God is absolute good everywhere present, then absolute good is here now in this situation. I just need to look for it. I think it's a very important thing that we can do. You can train your mind to look for the good in every situation. And you can choose to look for the good in every person. It's a choice, and it's a mind training. It really is just a matter of taking on a different manner of thinking. How has this manner of thinking that we are all separate served you so far? How is this manner of thinking that you are fallible, that you are somehow corruptible, that you are somehow separate from that ever-present absolute good? How has that served you so far? How has it served you so far to look for the differences in others? How has it served you so far to look for what's wrong with the other person? How has it served you so far, come on, to judge that other person, that situation, or that circumstance as something other than perfect? How is that serving you? I don't think it has. For me, that's what I put in the fire. That manner of thinking is fearful. And when I wake up and I'm feeling fear, I just sit there and I examine the thoughts that I'm having. And I realize that I may be not looking for the good in this situation. That I may be not looking for the good in every person. And so I'm afraid of that situation. Or I'm afraid of that person. Why? Because I'm not looking for the good. We can train our minds to look for the good. What if we were just grateful for everything, like Snoopy and Charlie Brown? What if today we were just grateful for everything? Everything that has ever happened. We just be grateful for it and move on. We don't have to keep repeating those lessons. If we're grateful for the lesson it brought us, that means we've learned the lesson. Thank you, thank you. I'm so grateful for that lesson. You know, this is an important thing because quite often we will judge something or something will feel bad to us and we'll say, I don't want that to happen anymore. And so what are we doing? Protecting ourselves. I'm not going to go around that person because this is going to happen again. You know, no, let them go. Say, thank you for that lesson. Thank you. I am so grateful that you came, taught me that lesson. Thank you. It's over. And move on. You don't have to keep repeating it. You know, they might come and keep repeating the same behaviors and you just say, thank you. For what? For that lesson. Bye. Because I'm not going to repeat that one again. But I'm not resisting it. I'm saying thank you for it. I'm grateful for everything. And then what happens is my mind clears up and I see how much more I have to be grateful for. I'm so grateful for all the gifts I've been given this year, all the support, you know, around the passing of my mom, and all of the incredible response to our fundraiser this year, the involvement of people. It's just amazing. Everybody is stepping up their involvement. Not only here at Unity, but you're seeing how Unity is connected to the greater community so that your involvement here really does affect everyone in our community. Not only on the Cape, but the whole world. Because we are not separate. Because we are connected at a very deep and fundamental level. Your spiritual growth is the most important gift you can give to the world. I really, truly, not only believe it, it's my experience. It is truly my experience that your awakening is the greatest gift you can give to this world. So the easiest way to let go of the past is to give thanks for it. And thanks for the gift that it has given you. I am so grateful for the gift that it gave me, and now I can move on. So the important thing here is that we're not only grateful for the gift it's given us, we forgive in that manner. We forgive the past by letting go of our attachment to it. Letting go of our attachment to a certain story that I've been telling myself about the past. I've been telling myself a story that I'm better than somebody else, or that I'm more successful than somebody else, or I'm more awake. That's a spiritual trap right there. I'm more awake than somebody else. I'm more spiritual than you are. It's all crap, guys. Can I say that word in church? It doesn't make me so spiritual if I say that word. It is. It's all a bunch of BS because everybody holds the perfection of God in them in potential. And how you're expressing it right now has nothing to do with the truth of you. You are already as God created you. You don't need to earn that. That is who you are. There's nothing you can do in order to earn your perfection. You're already perfect. You're already in heaven. And hell is just an idea that we're separate from heaven, that we're separate from God. That's all it is. It's just an idea. And if you live in that idea, you are living in hell. But let me tell you what. Heaven is the only reality there is. And we talked a lot about on Christmas about the birth of the Christ consciousness in you. And what we read several times was that the Christ in you is your only reality. All else is imagined. It's imagined dreams. The Christ in you, the perfected person who's manifesting the light in them totally, that's your reality. The manifest light, divine light manifest in you. God in humankind. God in you. That's your reality. And according to all the teachers that I know, that's your only reality. All else is temporary imagination. Use your imagination for something better, guys. Use your imagination how you can express God in this world. How you can express love in this world. How you can express joy in this world. How you can express oneness in this world. That's what I want to use my imagination for. So in terms of forgiveness, the important thing to remember is that forgiveness changes you. It changes your story that you're telling yourself. It changes your attitude towards other people. It changes your attitude towards the past. And it changes your attitude towards the future. Forgiveness changes your attitude towards the future. So you won't be creating more of the same stress and situations that you really don't like. It changes your attitude towards the next person. So that's incredible. I'm looking for blessings. I'm looking for what blessings are coming my way in the next moment and in the next person. But most of all, it changes your attitude about who? Myself. Exactly, Kathy. It changes your attitude about yourself. And that's the most important thing forgiveness does. Forgiveness releases you from your self-imposed imprisonment. The people involved in your past, they don't have to accept it. They don't even have to acknowledge it. They don't even have to be aware of your forgiveness. Your forgiveness is for you. It is important that you forgive, however. And it's an icing on the cake when they do acknowledge it. You know, it's something from the 12-step program. You do that 9th step no matter what. You go out and make direct amends. And half the people are not going to accept your forgiveness. But you know, you're going to get that surprise when they say, "Thank you so much. I'm so grateful that you came and cleared that up for me." And there'll be other ones that you think you hurt, and you go and you ask them for forgiveness, and they'll say, "I wasn't even thinking about that. Oh, thank you. But you know, I've been fine all this time." One person I know went and said to their ex, "I'm sorry I broke up with you and we got divorced. Your life must have been miserable." And the person said, "No, it was the best thing that ever happened." Thank you. Not that you're a bad person, but I met someone who's better for me. You know, like, oh, great. You know, you never know. The important thing is that you let go of your attachment of the story that you're telling yourself. Because quite often, if you really look at it, if you really just sit with yourself, you're telling a story that's self-depreciating. You're telling yourself a story that's not empowering. You're telling yourself a story that puts you down. And forgiveness raises you up. Forgiveness says, I am strong enough to admit my mistakes and to move on so that I don't make them anymore. That's all it is. Because there are really no sins, my friends. I'm not here to preach sins and sinners being saved. I'm here to preach forgiveness. Forgiveness of yourself because you made a mistake. That's all. So it releases you from this self-imposed imprisonment. You've been attached to this story, and in that story, you've been stuck, and it's been imprisoning you in that story. It's time for you to allow your spirit creative freedom to shape your experience of life. Allow your spirit to shape your life, not your ego, not your past, not your attachment to your story. Let that story go. I said that word already. You know what I'm going to say. It's not true. It's just a bunch of garbage. That story, and even if you're still attached to it in some way, I'm going to give you the truth. It's over. No matter how you think it occurred or what you think happened, all I can tell you is it's over. So don't hold on to it. Let it go. Let it be burned up in the flame of your creative spirit. And let your spirit shape your life from this day forward. Let the spirit within shape your life. It frees you to move forward with certainty. It frees you up. And that's what we really want is freedom. You know, if we think about the word peace, if we really want peace on earth, we really want to let it begin with me, have to be free. You know, a great teacher said one time, some of you might know if it was Rumi or if it was someone else, but they always say it's Rumi on the internet. They said, you need to love the other person so that they feel free. You need to love in such a way that the person that you are with feels totally free, completely free to be themselves. There's nothing containing my love. There is nothing controlling me. There is nothing standing in my way of loving you fully. There's nothing standing in my way of allowing my creative spirit to shape my experience of life. That's what I really love, is that freedom of spirit. And when we are free, and when we are feeling free, we are much more likely to be loving towards everyone. We're much more likely to be able to accomplish those first two things, seeing the good in all situations and looking for the good in every person, because we're free. And I want to tell you, you are free to do so. You are free. You can do it. It's your decision to look for the good in every situation and the good in every person. So as we let go of the past, what are we? Grateful. Thank you for the lessons that it brought me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Forgive me for anything that may have caused you any pain or harm. We can release that together. And in the end, we say, I love you. I really love you. I don't know what happened in the past, but right now, I'm falling in love with you. You are beautiful. You're amazing. I can feel your energy. You know, thank you. Forgive me. And I love you. Be a blessing, guys. Have a great new year. It's like the best decade ever coming up. Thank you.
You have been watching the message from our Sunday celebration service here at Unity on Cape Cod, providing a positive path for spiritual living. Please join us every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. at 147 Walton Ave, Hyannis, Mass. And visit us online at www.unityoncapecod.org.